Now, so we get episode 2 of the Porsche season came in, and I've already accidentally completed 2 of the challenges from it. That is the perform knockdowns in multiplayer by 10. If you want to be friendly and doing that, you can target DS bots inside an MP, because yeah, they're not going to notice or complain too much about it. So just if you want to do this in the kind of vegan manner, you can, yeah, like I said, you can do this without causing grief to other players. They perform 10 seconds of air in a single daily events race. Fantastic race for doing that is something like the San Francisco stage, because you're going to want to do the 2 barrel ramps on the way up that large straight. So like, yeah, that's one where you're pretty much going to get that 12 seconds almost guaranteed. That's also going to tick off some other boxes in this as well, since it is a finish races San Francisco, for example, and also you're getting your perform barrel rolls. You'll do quite a lot of those on that stage. Now, there's a few of these which sound a little bit difficult up front, like say performing 45 360s in Class C cars and drifting 15,000 meters in a Porsche. So like the only thing that really matters with those is just the class of car. If you notice the fact that they do not say like win races doing them, or yeah, like any car event or style. So all you're going to need to do is pretty much anything that's not a quick race should count for these. So like with the Porsche ones and the Class C, what I'd advise doing for that is taking a look for a career race where you can use a Class C or a Porsche car. I was going to suggest possibly using a Class C Porsche car, but the only Class C Porsche car is the Grand Prix reward, which people won't have access to right now and won't want to be using for messing around with this during your practice runs for the qualification. But yeah, like these don't have to be wins. All they need to do is perform 360s, drifts, and also you have the Porsche 911 GTS Coupe to reach the top 3 in a race times 7. So what I'd advise doing is just couple together the Porsche finishing races and the drifting together. So put the Porsche into a career race where you've got like, yeah, a really long race with low requirements and just drift almost the entire race for that. Now, so I'm going in here for the Class B Novice, and rather than just doing the Scotland course as well, stage number 5 of that is in the US Midwest. So I also tick one of the boxes of the 28 races you need to do in the US Midwest. And yeah, say like this race has a recommendation rank of 1337. The Porsche 911 is well overpowered for that, and yeah, you'll be able to pretty much drift the entire raceway through in this without really needing to worry too much about not completing the race. There's a time attack as well, so yeah, you effectively can't come lower than in the first place. Just kind of weird. But yeah, as long as you just make sure to drift through those time goals, you should be fine for this. But yeah, all you need to do is just toggle on your drift state with just a click of the B button, and yeah, you can leave the car in that state for effectively the entire race in this. Like yeah, drift is toggleable, so you don't have to hold down the drift button in this. All you're doing is here is holding the accelerator and just wiggling the butt of the car back and forth for the entire race. And yeah, like with the car rating as high enough as this one is, the 911 that I'm using here, you can effectively pretty much guarantee you're going to be fine for completing the race and working your way through one of the US Midwest races, as well as drifting yeah, an awful lot of that actual drift requirement. Throw myself off there at the end. And yeah, just checking back in. Even though that is a time trial, it does count as a reach top 3 in a race. And it, of course, is a race finished in US Midwest. And yeah, it's about 2,000 or so meters towards that Porsche drifting challenge. So yeah, like if you're having trouble drifting with that, if you're like being careful to drift in Porsches and win races, just you don't really have to win the races. Even it wouldn't matter if you go into any race and lose, just as long as you drift, that's all that matters there. Performing 360s in a Class C car, again, it doesn't say you have to win. All it says is you have to do 360s. Just remember the fact that like this game is very strict on what it asks you for, so give it exactly what it asks you for. Just do a race and do 45 360s. As long as you're not going over the time limit in it, you should be having no issue whatsoever to get lots and lots of 360s in any race. You should easily be able to do 45. You may lose the race, but yeah, it's definitely going to get 45 360s. And because of these two requiring some attention, we're going to like pick a US Midwest course to get those 45 360s in. Now, Class C Rookie again in career mode for this one. And race number 7, Gold Rush, US Midwest. I'd pick a car that has fairly good acceleration, just for the sake of being able to throw it into a lot of these. So the Viper, H2 Speed, or Acura, fantastic choices. Less so something like the Sart, for example, or the Husaria. It's just a case of, yeah, I would still... You've got a minute and a half, say, in one of these races, but then again, if you need to do it twice, that's just going to give you more races in a US Midwest. So again, there's no real like downside to doing this. But you do want to farm these out like pretty much as fast as possible in a week, really, so that you get access to more of the benefits and rewards of the season pass earlier on, rather than just letting them kind of occur naturally. But yeah, word of the thing. You get those 360s done. Doesn't say win. And yeah, pretty much all I'm doing here is just trying to keep up with the pack throughout this entire race. And just, yeah, 360ing away through. This isn't exactly going to be an exciting race at any stages. I'm just like, yeah, just 360, 360, 360. Like I said, this is one where like, this is what I would do for something like this. I don't think it's exactly, like, yeah, it's maybe not exactly the way the mission was intended to be done, but at the same time, all you've got to do for the quests always is just exactly what's required. So, win a race in a Class C car, and yeah, one boatload of 360s completed in a single race, because, yeah, the game isn't exactly like, it's not exactly fun to be forced into thinking, oh, I gotta do these other things on top of other missions. So if you're going for high speed and stuff, you're not going to be wanting to think like, oh no, I better do some 360s randomly in the middle of a race. But yeah, another mission handily enough to do, and again you get that victory on the US Midwest complete as well for that. Now, performing perfect nitros, and may as well tie that up with another reach top 3 in the 911 GTS, and why not do it on a US Midwest course as well at the same time. Now, back into Class B Novice again, transcontinental race, and yeah, break out the Porsche 911 straight in there. And yeah, instead of going for the crazy amount of drifting this time, just a perfect nitro is that state where you put the car into a blue nitro state, and much like the nitro shockwaves in the stage 1 of these videos, you can do this just by bringing the car into that perfect nitro state, dropping it out, and then immediately just putting it back into it again. Now, say like Porsche 911 isn't exactly the best car for nitroing and drifting, but given the fact we also have the mission to do drifts, fill up that nitro meter, and then just all you have to do is double tap the nitro just to put it into that blue state, just even for a second, and yeah, as soon as the nitro bar goes blue, that's the perfect nitro complete. Now, this isn't exactly the longest of tracks, so there's a chance you might need to do this once or twice, but again, for this career, you're going to be kind of using these cars a few times, because you want to get as many US Midwest runs done as possible as well. So coming back through this one a few times isn't exactly going to be bad for completing portions of this Legend Pass. Like I said, I would just I always kind of try and keep on top of missions like these just to get the rewards as fast as possible, and yeah, we'll see how many perfect nitros was that out of a single race. Oof. AI didn't like taking over control of that car. Yeah, so that's up to 51 perfect nitros now, and in that, another win in the GTS Coupe, and of course another US Midwest run complete. So just pretty much wash, rinse, repeat with that to get like, yeah, another 1,200 as well meters of drifting complete in a Porsche by doing that. And yeah, you got your perfect nitros and your US Midwest wins, as well as the Porsche 911 top place finishes. So you've got an awful lot of races coming in from just doing that repeatedly. Now, the destroy 35 objects in a single career race. That might seem like quite a lot, but there's actually quite a few of those on the Caribbean stages. And there's a lot of places where you can kind of find loads of like tables and chairs and stuff like that. And again, it just says destroy 35 objects in a single career race. That does not mean you need to like complete the race or win the race. So all you want to do for that is just pretty much go on a hunt for tables and chairs and ladders. Oh my. Now, a great place to get these 35 objects is the Caribbean Island Tour. And yeah, say you can break out something like if you've got a really powerful car, you can just pretty much blast ahead of the AI and get to the resort area, and you'll be able to pick up those 35 items with ease. Now, there is absolutely mountains and mountains of items on this tour, but yeah, there is just one place in particular where you can pretty much get a combo of all 35 in a one go, and yeah, it's quite easy. And like I said, this Caribbean tour, really, if you're having any trouble whatsoever, just have a blast at this one. It is the easiest by far. Lots of different versions of this tour have the items, but all you're going for is just anything where it says destroy obstacles there. So like on the Caribbean tour, you've got like chairs and stuff like that all over the track. So yeah, you can just rip up all of those as long as you're kind of staying away from the AI, because if the AI is next to you, they will actually kind of take over a lot of those items by battling, and they kind of knock over loads of stuff from the track. So if you do want to get this, you want to stay either really far in front of the AI, or if you don't really have a super powerful car, you can just hang back behind the AI as well. That'll do it for you. If you've got something like the 4K rated Grand Sport, Aventador J, or yeah, the Huracan here that I'm using, all you need to do is just basically, if you want to guarantee yourself getting it, is take the lower route here down to the resort, and there's pretty much your entire 35 items can be gotten right here. So you've got like all of these tables and chairs along the underside, and yeah, you can just pretty much clean those all up, and 26 there in a single motion pretty much. So yeah, like as long as you've got that, you've got your 35 in the bag really. Down the middle of the road as well, all after this jump, you've got more objects and stuff the whole way along. So the Caribbean, definitely a place where I would head to if you ever wanted to destroy 35 objects in a single career race. And shockingly enough, that's my 35 objects in a single career race. I think I got 35 objects in front of that resort easily, but yeah, what you gotta do. When it comes to the actual apply upgrades portion of this, just keep in mind the fact that it doesn't actually account for import parts or epic import parts for that. It has to be the base upgrades for a car. So looking at something here like the Nissan Leaf, say a handling upgrade there for the 1100, that would count, as in that would be an upgrade, whereas the acceleration, applying those import parts, that is not counted as an upgrade for this quest. So if you are kind of rationing out your upgrades to cars, just keep in mind the fact that, like, yeah, import parts, epic import parts do not count as an upgrade. The base upgrade only is what actually counts, where it says upgrade to stage 1 or upgrade stage, whichever. Now, if you are looking to power through these US Midwest and San Francisco stages really quickly without having to do like yeah, multiplayer races and stuff like that throughout the week, you can just go into the very start of career mode and take a look at some of the races there. So yeah, in the very start of career mode, you've got the pure muscle car and railroad bustle. Like, that one is a 30-second race is what it's intended to be. Now, if you want, you can just throw the car in here and touch drive, and any of my ones that are like in the 2K category plus will win this race outright. But even at that, even if you have low rated cars, you just want to finish the season pass, like keep in mind that it's just finish the races. So effectively throwing any car at this repeatedly will complete the condition of just to complete a race in the San Fran stage and get it done like 28 times. This is a 30-second track, so you're talking about maybe somewhere in the region of 10 minutes ish, given the fact that like this car will put in a time far faster than that 30 seconds. Slightly less, slightly more, I guess, if you're using touch drive, that will take it around the 30 seconds mark. Now, so for the US Midwest races then, and the performing barrel rolls, this first race of Ultimate Muscle in the career is really good. So it's a US Midwest race called It's a Twister. It's only about 30 seconds long, but yes, I break out to Ford Shelby here, and there's a ton of barrel rolls to be gotten from this really short race. So it's only 30 seconds long, so really fast to grind out the 28 runs on US Midwest course. If you have the barrel rolls complete, you can just send the car into this using touch drive, and it doesn't need to win the race even if you've got low rated cars. But all of my 2.5k rated kind of D class cars here will no butters win this race even. But if you want to manually control it to help you grind out some of those barrel rolls, shoo AI. You've got 3 different barrel roll ramps that you can access on a single run here. So you've got your first one down the left hand side, and pick up 2 easy enough from that. Then as you grind on the outside of the train, there is another barrel roll ramp, and points you right into the third one then for a perfectly normal looking barrel roll there, just the way you like to do them. But like it's very handy having a race that's got 3 different barrel roll ramps in a 30-second race. And like I said, it takes off another box of US Midwest as well. So why not kind of combine those races into as many as you can. And boom, there's my 150 barrel rolls with that absolutely perfect roll across the sky. Now, so for these finish races in San Fran and US Midwest, then I'm going to put those touch driving in those career events, and edit the start portion of this video, and then once those are done, I'm going to check back in and see the custom car parts that are earned for this episode 2 of this season, and take a look through those and see if there's anything that's really cool and stand outish, or if any of them just look like that derpy weird smile on the back of the 918 Spider. Now, editing complete, and that's number 28 done on the US Midwest then, with the final one of those put in. Woot! That is an awesome benefit though. I wasn't sure if it would actually reach that distance with the actual season pass. It is quite a terrible reward, the fact that you get one taken blueprint for the actual like 100%ing of episode 1, but what you gonna do? But like the reason I wanted to get all of these done ASAP is really for the extra rewards of that. So tap here to claim all rewards. New Cayman side skirt, taken blueprints, 911, and customizable pieces, the Targa blueprints. They're from the free pass, I'm pretty sure. 100 tokens, but plus 2 extra gas in all cars, which will remain active until the end of the season, as far as I know. New hood for the 718 Cayman, new rims for the Spider, new tires for the Spider, some trade coins, and new trunk for the 918. 1 blueprint for the 911 GT Evolution there, 4 there, as well as 4 for the Taken. And then more new tires for the Spider and new side skirts for the 718 Cayman, which is a weird car, so it'd be cool to see that with some like side skirting and body parts equipped onto it. Now that does put me 45 tokens away from another body part for the 918 Spider, but It's not an actual bonus that's going to affect me for the entire thing. So I'm not going to spend 45 tokens on a upgrade like that just to get it like one tiny bit early. I'll wait till next week to get that body part and see, and it can be part of next week's rewards. But let's take a look at those actual customizable body pieces. So 718 side skirts then on the Cayman, and yeah, like this is a car that looks very plain. Like that's the thing with these Porsches. Quite a lot of them look really kind of basic, so it's that looks weird but cool enough, I guess. It's like Homer out with his pickaxe again to put some speed holes in the hood. It looks especially odd on the carbon fiber hood. And side skirt, cool enough. It's just kind of like expanding out this car. Like those customizable pieces don't actually like change anything to do with the handling and aerodynamics and stuff of the car, but still they are pretty cool just to give you like a customized version of the car, and you can attach any of them how you see fit. That makes that quite a lot bulkier looking, but yeah, cool out. Like definitely gives it a lot more kind of size to the body. Now, and the golden 18 Spider of mine, let's see, do these look decent? New trunk. Oh, what? That is weird. It's just a small covering from the engine on the back. Small, but quite noticeably different though over the the regular pieces. Definitely, like I said, a small piece, but quite noticeable. Rims wise, very bland. That's not going to win people over to this battle pass. Battle pass, season pass, legend pass. Oh, they're all called different passes. But and the tires then, what actually came from that, because it was 2 sets of tires. So the maxi tires, it's just legends as well. Oh, that one looks quite cool, and I imagine that look quite cool in motion as well. Just need to obviously make it pimp. Oh yeah, that's good. And it looks kind of cool, like a moon shape on it. I really want to see what that looks like in motion in replays. That looks quite pimpy. But yeah, I do love like those customizational parts. They are a lot more kind of what I'm always interested in when it comes to these kind of free to play games and ones with pay to win mechanics. I'm less keen on usually paying money for like an advantage on the track rather than like actually just paying for bits and pieces to give you cool looking cars rather than like winning a race because you paid money. I just think, yeah, for me that's quite less impressive than like just winning the race with the cars that you can earn in game. I was going to say legitimately, but I hope, yeah, I don't mean to ever put down people who buy into a lot of the stuff. Like, it's cool to star up and gold all the cars. It's just a case of, yeah, I would always feel kind of like, sort of like there wasn't as much of a achievement in terms of just paying money to win a race. I would kind of take away some of the fun of it from that I have, which is just unlocking the cars naturally in the game and then gearing them up. And obviously there is some DLCs and bits and pieces that I purchase every now and again. There's a St. Patrick's Day one, which is quite good value at the moment. Actually, I really wanted to pick it up before that event ends, just the very first one of those, because like 350 tokens for €2 or something like that, but never any of those things which are like €100 for some blueprints and stuff, because yeah, that's just far too much in my opinion to pay for any game, regardless of a free to play game. And yeah, definitely not for just to win a race where you go like, hey, now I win a race, what do I get? 50 tokens, yay! That doesn't work out. But yeah, but yeah, there at the end as well then is one of the coolest benefits this week, which is the gas tank for that 918 Spider, up to 6 units of fuel inside there. So like, yeah, 2 units of fuel additional onto all the cars across the garage as far as I know. Yeah, Pagani up to 5 units instead of that 3. Like, that is an awesome kind of benefit for somebody with a fairly big garage, but at the same time, like, yeah, it lets you play with those cars that are more enjoyable on the track quite a few more times. So yeah, something like that's really class. It would be more kind of awesome Ah, yeah, even the Senna up to 5 units of fuel. It would be more awesome if it was a case of like their refuel time was lowered, because obviously that's still going to be an hour and 12 minutes out of play once the refueling is triggered. But still, it's cool to have like 5 units on some of those cars. It does look really weird though, looking across the garage with cars at like, yeah, 8 fuel units, 7 for the B classes. Yeah, 0 Uno at 7. 6 in the Grand Sport and stuff like that. But yeah, that is episode 2 completely done. Some weird missions and some kind of, yeah, bits of fun here and there. The breaking 35 objects is cool. Getting people to KD 10 others in multiplayer is probably not the best of ideas in terms of like, yeah, causing aggro. But yeah, there's plenty of DS bots around the place as fodder for that mission anyway. So you're not going to cause too much angst if you KD somebody's bot that's running 24/7. 6 days and 13 hours to go for episode 3 to be unlocked. But yeah, this season pass so far, like, I do love those cosmetic items and the additional parts. Like, that fuel is going to be pretty cool when it comes to even doing things like the car hunt riots and stuff like that. If this is one of my first videos you're watching, or if you haven't already subbed, guys, please, there is a sub button up there. I cover almost all the content in Asphalt 9 Legends. There's indie reviews for me up there where I take a blind playtest on an indie game on the Nintendo Switch. And at this side, there's content that YouTube thinks you'll enjoy from my channel. I hope you guys are enjoying the rewards as you're going through the season pass, be it the free tier or the paid tier. And yeah, guys, as always, drive safe.